2, 1.
Welcome to Antimatters. Hello everyone, I hope you're all good. Today we've got the most neglected ants on my channel, the Acromyrmex Octospinosis. For some reason I think I forgot them on the ant cave tour. They're doing okay though, they're slowly plodding along. They seem to be pretty stable right now after their hiccups when I first got them. It must be about 4 or 5 months ago now. Although they have slightly grown, I'm not blown away. I think I may have been underfeeding them possibly. However, I normally keep them well stocked on leaves. Most of winter, they were chomping through my preserved apple leaves. If you're curious, to preserve them, I kept them in a paper bag and put them in a dry area, and it seemed to do them really good. They had lasted 5 months until I accidentally got them wet 2 weeks ago, and only now are the ants refusing to eat them. Luckily, dandelion and bramble though are out now, so there's plenty of leaves available. The Acromyrmex though have really got some character growing. They're super aggressive, and they have loads of little guards and stuff like that all over the fungus in the nest, and all they do is just stand there waiting. You can see one in the centre of this little time lapse, and he's just stood in his little hole, and another one next to him as well. And they don't go anywhere, they're just guarding, just in case something bad turns up. They are super aggressive though. As soon as I open the lid, they come running out, mouths open, trying to chomp my fingers. And unlike the atta, like as soon as the Acromyrmex get onto your finger, they're clamping down, and it is really quite painful if you get a big one on you. Apart from being really aggressive, these girls are also quite grubby. As you can see, they leave fragments of leaves and all sorts and stem all up the side of the walls, and they make these big mud monoliths. It doesn't seem to be causing them any problems at this point, but it does look a bit grimy. The little piles of mud are just made of thousands and thousands of bits of chopped up leaves though. I do have a little theory on why they keep making them as well, and I think they're confused. If you check out this little worker here, she's got a little bit of plant material, and normally this would end up on the fungus. However, I believe the ants have got a little bit confused here, because this is the trash pile, and there she goes doing her little swivelly dance. And this is what they do when they're trying to get leaf material to bond with the fungus. So I do think she's a bit confused. It's time to play Spot the Mites as well. Unfortunately maybe, I'm not really too bothered to be honest. But these girls, they've got loads of little spider mites in their setup. They're crawling around all the mud and the soil, and a little bit on the floor sometimes. I believe they come in on the plants, and once the leafcutters have eaten the plants, the spider mites have nowhere left to go, so just hang around in the soil. I'm not sure if they can actually survive that long, or whether they just eventually starve to death before being replaced by new ones, but I'm not too worried about them. I can barely see them as well with my own eyes. It's only when I pull out the camera that I even have to look at them. I do like some of the patterns those leaves make. To try and encourage them to clean a little bit more, I have given them a little trash outworld, and they do use it a little bit. However, it's not as busy as I would have hoped yet. I'm sure as the colony grows though, they'll start using it more, and as the fungus expands, they'll quickly get all of the trash out of the way, because the fungus is more important. Their trash outward though is just a little box that I got it was an Android charger in, but it was a really nice little acrylic box, so I drilled a hole, stuck a tube in it, and jobs are good. As you can see though, the fungus is looking really healthy. It's nice and white, and I've been feeding them loads. I've also started experimenting with their food. As you can see here, I've given them a cockroach. I don't know why I've given them a cockroach, mostly just to see what's going to happen, because, well, I've never given them a cockroach before. Alongside the cockroach there is some leaves that they can definitely eat. It seems they are semi-interested in it. I'm not sure if that means that eventually they'll maybe eat it and give it to the brood, as I kind of want to give them a little boost in population, because there's a lot of them, but I feel they could have grown a little bit more, and maybe I'm holding them back somehow. Or maybe it's lack of protein. Although these aren't your standard ant, they're leaf cutters, so it's pretty much not that. As you can see, once they get their leaves as well, all of the ants get way more relaxed. Well, most of them anyway. Instead of standing around with their jaws open though, they start nibbling away at all of the little hairs on the leaves, before chopping them up into nice little segments. It's really nice to see them so chilled, to be honest, and when you're watching them after being so aggressive and then they're all relaxed, it is quite relaxing to watch them. They really are cool looking ants as well. I think maybe they're called Octospinosis because they got 8 spines sticking out their back. It probably isn't anything to do with that though. I could watch them for hours though. It makes me wonder how I have managed to not really do any filming of them. I haven't seen the queen for a while, but I am hopeful that she's still alive. She's probably buried somewhere deep down in the fungus, hopefully with loads of brood as well. The fungus has grown quite a bit in the last week or two, to be fair, so she's probably been encased nearly in fungus now. Their Wakushi leafcutter pod as well is doing absolutely brilliant and has saved their life at least on one occasion. Recently I was fiddling with the incubator and I managed to play around with the temperature basically, so the whole incubator was 28 Celsius. Normally it would only be like 25, but I noticed that the fungus was just getting hammered. Every time I looked in there was just less fungus, and eventually looked at the thermostat probe, the thermometer probe, and noticed that it was 28 degrees and quickly turned everything down, which let the fungus bounce back. Over the next few months, I'm hoping I can turbocharge them, so when July rolls in, with over 30 Celsius days most likely, they'll have a better chance of surviving. If you're lucky, I won't forget to update them again, and hopefully bring you good news next time. But you never can tell. Thanks for watching though. Until next time, have a fabulous week, may your ants live long and prosper, and bye!